Hello everybody, my name is Driving Annabert and welcome to my movie review, where in today's episode we are speaking about the newly released, long-awaited fourth installment film of the Matrix franchise known as Matrix Resurrections. With Lana Wachowski coming to direct and Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss both reprising their original roles of Neo and Trinity, Matrix Resurrections takes place 60 years after the last film left off, Matrix Revolutions, and it kind of shows how difficult it's been for some people when it comes to entering the Matrix ever since Neo and Trinity has left. Now, I'm not going to give any spoilers because that's not what I'm going to do in this one. What I'm going to do is just give my honest review. My honest review really is, this movie is an okay movie. The problem with this movie was, it had to have the word Matrix in its title, which is something that happens to a lot of old franchises like Star Wars, like Pacific Rim. A lot of movies always fail to reach the expectations that the fan base has for it. Now, don't get me wrong, Matrix Resurrections is a beautifully stunning movie considering that's all that is advanced. I'm pretty sure the original Matrix will look just as good, if not better, if the same type of CGI was available to those back in the days. But the key thing that this loses me in is just the story of it at all. Like, it's so much of it is so lackluster that, unlike the other ones that kind of were just fumbled anywhere, this just bored me. And when it comes to the movies like The Matrix, it shouldn't bore me. This should be the type of movie just like the original Matrix should take me in. Now, am I saying you should not watch this movie? Absolutely not. You should watch this movie. If you were a fan of the franchise, you might in fact actually enjoy this movie because unlike other franchises, they didn't have to recast most of the people. Some people returned, such as Jada Pinkett Smith coming back as Niobe, but we did end up losing Morpheus as an individual, aka Lawrence Fishburne's character, because since it does take place 60 years into the future, it's pretty much assumed that anyone who was going to pass away of old age passed away. Now, I'm not going to ding it on that. You have to push it to the future. I'm not going to say anything wrong with that. But what I will say is it just didn't, like I mentioned, was just so boring. It just didn't hook me. It didn't connect me. There was moments where I was looking at my phone where if even on HBO Max, where you could see Matrix Resurrections, if you have an HBO Max subscription, I watched the original Matrix right after. And the whole movie, I didn't leave. I enjoyed every single bit of it. Now, is it because of nostalgia's sake and it's because I was a child? Possibly it was. But the fact that a movie that came out back in 1999-2000 can still hold me with the same drive that I had at that time as a child compared to now to a movie that I'm more willing to look at all the Easter eggs and understand the movie and the storyline much more better, it's not really a good thing. Now, I'm not going to sit here and bash the film like other people have. I've seen people over dramatic and say, oh, this is a 1 out of 10. This is the worst movie in the franchise. I'm not going that far. To me, honestly speaking, Revolutions is still the worst movie of them all. But Resurrections is the third best movie in this lineup. The only problem with that is usually people hear it's the third best. It's not the worst. It's a good thing is the Matrix is here and all the others are right down here. And that's not a good thing. So as I mentioned before, I highly recommend watching this movie to see for yourself. It's not as bad as other people think. It's actually a very, very good movie. It's a movie that if you want to buy time, you can. If you just want to sit around and watch, you definitely can. I realize this movie is the kind of movie where, unlike the others, you don't have to focus as intently as the others do. They kind of give you all the information immediately. You don't have to do no second rewatches if you don't want to. If you're a completionist like myself, like I am with the Marvel films and everything else, and even with the Matrix, you're going to watch this film and you're going to enjoy it because you are pretty much up to date. And the way this movie finishes, you know there's going to be a next one. Of course there's going to be a next one how it finishes. There's no way it isn't, because if it doesn't, then that will be more of a ding to it than what I gave to Ding in my Melee and Chill review, in the sense of you got to do a part 2 now. You have no choice. So in this one, I usually rate things by toast on a 5 meter, and I'm giving this one a 3 out of 5, a 3 medium burnt toast out of 5. As I mentioned before, the story is just not compelling enough to keep me around. I know this is them just trying to get people to get back on the Matrix train, especially those of a newer generation. And we got to call it for what it is. Some of us who were kids who watched that movie are parents now. So I understand it. It's basically a brand new entryway for young adults. But for the diehard Matrix fan like myself, I mean, it is what it is. It clearly wasn't made for me, and that's fine. And not all movies are going to be made for us. But this movie, they really need to make a part 5 to continue on from this movie, because if this becomes the final movie of the franchise, then that kind of sucks. So that's my review of Matrix Resurrections. If you like this review, leave a like on the channel. If there's a movie you want me to review on outside of this one, write a comment down below. Don't forget to like the channel. Well, you would have really liked it if you like the movie review. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell in case you like any other reviews or gaming clips that I put up on this channel. I post 6 times a week. You're always gonna get some type of content. So thank you all for watching. I'm Driving Annabelle signing out. Bye bye.